Today we're going to be starting with comparatives and superlatives. As some of you have experienced, we're having some downtime on our platform. Of course, our platform has a public face as well as an internal portal. So I'm going to show you how you can just follow in terms of the program without doing the activities. Of course, as soon as you have access to the platform again, please go onto the platform and start working. So here we go. Let me just share my screen with you. First, you guys are in the A2 level. And as I mentioned, we're now getting towards completion. Today, we're going to be looking at comparatives and superlatives in different forms. So we can wrap up Unit 5 and get you on your way. And when you have access to the platform, it's going to look like this. You're going to have activities that look like this. Of course, remember, in your program, you have multiple activities. The public site only has a few. All right, so if you want to go in and give it a try, of course, you can do screenshots from here. And as I mentioned, today we're going to be focusing on comparatives and superlatives. All right, so first of all, what are these words? Well, they're adjectives. They describe things, people, and places. Right? And we're going to be looking at the one syllable, multiple syllable words, and some exceptions. But let's make it a little bit more interactive, and then we'll look at some descriptive words and let's change them. Now, I've been sending some of you some emails, so guys, check your emails just in case there was an error on your exam. I sent you some emails. If you have issues, don't feel shy. Send me an email as well. All right, so let's start off here. Suzette, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, yes, I have two sisters.
All right. Who is the tallest? Is it you?
No,
All right. So you notice I use the word that is going to be describing all three of them, but the person who has a particular position. Now, if it were only two, then it would be tall and taller. The third person is the tallest. That's the type of thing we're going to be practicing today. Description, comparing two things, and then what happens when it's more than two? How do we say those words? We're going to be looking at words like these, simple words or one syllable words. Then we're going to be looking at double syllable words where we have to use more. And of course, you know, it's English. There's always some exceptions, right? So here we go. Let's dive in. As is customary, we're going to start off with the rules. First, let's look at some descriptive words. All right, and thank you guys. I see as you're joining, you're putting your names in the chat. Keep it going. And Ariel.
Hello, teacher.
Good
I'm here.
morning. All right, let's start with adjectives. Gradable adjectives. Can you read that for me?
Gradable adjectives can vary in degree on intensity and therefore can have comparative and superlative forms. See below for
No problem. All right. So first of all, the adjectives: fast, hard, smart, pretty, expensive, extravagant, slow. All these words are describing things, and these are what we call the simple form. Right? These are just simple adjectives that describe either things, places, or people. Now, of course, let's look at the rules. Rule number 1. Help us out there, Monse.
The comparative grade. When marking comparisons, we can
Highlight.
highlight
Mhm.
the superiority, inferiority, or equality of one quality or another. The structure of each of these grades of comparisons is different.
Number one.
Comparisons of superiority
Mm-hmm.
in, in comparison of superiority, the active, which is in the comparative form, see below,
All
is
right.
lower
Mm-hmm.
than.
All right. So examples: Juan faster than Mark. The room cleaner than the other room. One person taller than the other person. One city bigger than the other city. So as we saw in the first part, we have the simple form. Then when we have two things, we have the comparative form. But if we're going to be saying one is better, we use this one. Faster than. Right? What about inferiority? Santoya, help us out here with number two.
Comparative of inferiority.
Mm-hmm,
So from this type of comparison,
mm-hmm.
we can use the
Conjunctions.
conjunctions
Mm-hmm,
not as or less than.
mm-hmm,
In both cases, the adjectives
mm-hmm.
is in the positive grade.
All right.
Examples:
Mm-hmm,
Mark is not as fast as John as Juan.
mm-hmm,
Sue's room is less clean than Angela's.
mm-hmm,
Bed is not as tall as me.
mm-hmm.
Los Angeles is not as big as New York.
Good. All right. Sorry, little error there here. Beth is not as tall as me. My bad. All right. So the idea there, guys, if something is not as good, then we use less than or not as good as, fast as, tall as, right? In these cases, we don't have to put the ER on our verbs to make it comparative, right? Same thing here. When we're comparing things that are equal, we don't need the ER either, right? So if you are the same, then you just use the same. All right, Mark is as fast as, her room is as clean as, tall as, or big as. When we have two things, we say taller. All right, let's go back now to Suzette. Suzette, you are the first, the second, or the third?
The first.
Ah, so you are the big one, right? Now, who is the second? What is her name?
Valeria.
Is Valeria taller than you or shorter than you?
Valeria is taller than me.
Ah, she got the good genes. All right. So when you compare two people, you use comparatives. Now, what if it is three or four or five or the whole class or the whole of UNAM? We use what we call superlatives. All right. So that's the next form we're going to be looking at. Let's pick on another young man. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Edwin, superlative grade.
The superlative grade denotes a quality at its highest degree and is formed using the article "the" in front of the superlative form of the adjective. See below. Examples: Juan is, Juan is the fastest. Angela's room is the cleanest. I am the tallest.
Hmm.
New York is the biggest city in the United States.
All right, good. So we have a group of things, more than two, and we need to talk about one. That one is the superlative, the biggest, the fastest, the cleanest, the tallest, right? It is the highest degree in the group, right? Now, of course, forms. Only two things. We use ER for simple adjectives. Adjectives with one syllable, like tall. If it's more than two things, then we use EST, like fastest, or tallest, or youngest, or oldest. All right? Those are our forms. I'm going to be showing you another diagram so you can see some more of the rules. All right? And remember, as you join the room, put your full names and your groups in the chat. All right? So here we go. These are the adjectives, comparative form, and superlative form. When it's a simple one, we just add ER. If the adjective already ends with an E, then we just add R. If it's a one syllable short sound, we add an extra letter, then the ER. If it's a two syllable, but it has a Y, we change the Y to I and then add ER. Or if it's a more complex or multiple syllable word, then we add more famous, more beautiful, more expensive, more economical, right? And for the superlative, we use most, right? Of course, as I mentioned, there are some exceptions. And talking about exceptions, let's play a game. Let's see if you're getting it so far. And of course, you will have some time to practice outside of class. But here we go. Let's switch to our first game. Let's get some people involved. And let's start at the top. Suzette, let's go back to you. Dun, 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 dun. Two people, your brother and you. What is the answer for this one?
My brother is taller than me.
Good. Right. Then, Andrea Altamirano.
The sheep is the fastest land animal in the world.
Exactly. The fastest of all the animals. Good job. Anaí.
She always has a smile on her face. She is the happiest person that I know.
Good job. All right. You've been paying attention. Good. Andrea Stephanie. Next one is yours.
Yes, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Her skin is much darker
Mm-hmm.
after to work in the. Hoy no alcanzo a ver, teacher.
After 2 weeks in the Caribbean.
Okay,
Go down to Cancun and you all bronzy after 2 weeks, right?
Yes, teacher.
Next one. You're welcome. Vanessa.
Yes, teacher. The traffic is more slow today because of an accident of the highway.
Okay. More slow? But slow is a simple word. More slow wouldn't be correct. Remember our rule for simple syllables? Let's go back. Short words, one syllable, just ER.
Slower.
Slower today. Right? Angelica.
Yes, teacher. Is a superlative. That
Right.
is the highest mountain I have ever seen.
The highest indeed. Next one. Ariel, back to you.
She's the most beautiful woman in the world.
I hope she is. Good job. Next one. At city.
Yes, teacher. My brother is the lazier person that I know.
But you know more than two people. You know all the people in class, everyone at home. So it's not a comparative. This is a superlative. The highest lazy in your knowledge. All right? So laziest.
She's better at mathematics than I am.
Correct. Carolina.
Is the most no driest desert in the world.
Yes. Driest. All right. Cynthia.
Yes, my wife is far mm, intelligenter than I will ever be.
Remember what happens with multiple syllable words? Intelligent is a
Is more
mullet. Exactly. Good. All right. One more time. My wife.
is far more intelligent than I will ever be.
Good. Right. Denise. Oh, we lost Denise. All right. Let's move on. Edwin.
That is the. A ver, espérame.
Remember the exceptions to the rule?
Sorry,
That is the.
teacher.
Yes.
I called the video.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. I'll give you another question. Go ahead, Edwin.
Okay. And that is the worst result I have received in this subject.
Good. All right. Now, Denise, your turn.
Okay. This car is slightly um expensive the than the car. Sorry.
No, remember multiple syllable words.
Okay.
One more time.
Yes.
This car is
Slightly. What is slightly, teacher?
a little.
Okay. Is okay. This car is slightly more cheap than that car.
No,
It's
slightly
more
more
expensive.
expensive. All right.
Okay.
Remember, cheap, single syllable, so you can add an er. Expensive, multiple syllable, so we use more.
Okay. Okay, teacher.
All right. Let's keep it going. Erendira, your turn. Let's see if everyone has put their names in the chat.
The brand surgery was the most delicate ever performed by the surgeon.
Good. Fernanda.
Asian food is in general um, more spicy than food from South America.
Yes. More spicy? No, spicier. Remember, spicy is a short word, so you can use IER. So let's look at that rule again. Short word ends with Y, so you change the Y to I and add ER. Spicier. Right, let's get Castro itself.
The movie was longer than I thought it would be.
Yes, longer than I thought it would be. All right, Lady Luce, your turn.
Now she is the most famous actor in the world.
Yes, she is. Good job. Maria.
I love that song.
It is the best song I have heard in a long.
One more time.
I love that song. It is the best song I have heard in a long time.
Good.
Your father is most experienced at answering grammar problems.
All right. Your father is most.
More
Why?
experienced.
More. All right. Good. Good. What is he saying? Good job, Mario. Next one. Back to you, Myla.
The elephant is the heavier land animal in the world.
Of all of them, we have to use the superlative form. Remember, you have more than two animals, so it's the heaviest.
Okay. Heaviest land animal in the world.
Good job. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Mayra, your turn.
Yes. My mother is older than my father.
Good. And Monse Vasquez.
Yes, teacher. What is
Of
sería
all of the movies, all of them.
what is
Not one,
the
not two. Uh-huh.
what is the funniest movie you have ever seen?
Good. Number 3, let's go with Nadia, your turn.
Yes, teacher. That movie was bad, but it wasn't mm, worth it.
The worst.
The worst I have ever seen.
Good. Of all of the movies. All right. Number 4, let's continue. Now, Richie, your turn. No. All right, let me switch back. Remember when you're comparing two things, but it's the inferior. All right. Go again. Is not as long as. All right. So let me share my screen one more time. As long. Remember, if you have the negative, you don't need to change your adjective. Not as long as. All right. One more time. As punishment, read the examples for me. Mark is not. Number 2. Good. Beth is not as tall. And Los Angeles. Thank you, Richie. All right, let's go back to the exercise. Next one, number 5. Celine.
Yesterday exam was more difficult than the one last month.
Good. More difficult than. All right, number 6. Vanya.
Peter is as the faster as Alex.
They are equal. Remember what we say about equal? Let me change my screen. And as punishment, just the same. Read the examples for me.
Mark is fast as Juan. Sue's room is as clean as Angela's. Will is as tall as I am. Los Angeles is as big as New York.
All right. So be super careful. If they are equal, then we use the simple grade of our adjectives. All right. And Alan.
Me, teacher? Bimbo?
The only bimbo we know.
Okay, teacher. I think Mary is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen.
All right, be careful. If your girlfriend ever hears, she's not going to be happy. And Zaida, last one is yours.
Yes, teacher. Her room is only a little bit
Bigger than mine.
Perfect. All right. You guys did a really good job. All right. He is happiest when he is playing. Michael's house is further from the train than Betty's. All right. I'm going to send you the links as always. And for today's class, I think we should end class with music. All right. So let's just go down here. Let's see if it's active.
Make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, never. Ever, after, work is over. Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over.
Alright guys, I won't play music for the whole class, but thanks for joining. Enjoy your Saturday. Keep on practicing. I will give you the links in the stream.